Today I just wanted to take a few minutes, kind of aside from my regular videos, and just talk a little bit about, well, you can see in the title, opening a board game store. So this is something that's been on my mind on and off for, probably close to 10 years or more. I've had it come to my mind and man, I'd love to own a board game shop. We've got a local game shop not in the city that I live in, but just one city over. So I live in a small city of about 14,000 people. That's about 5 minutes away from another bigger city with like 300,000 people. And that game store, I don't get to spend as much time there as I'd like to anymore, but I have a lot of really good memories of going there, learning about products. When I first got into wargaming, I went to the game store and I knew the guys a little bit, and so I just kind of asked hey, what kind of games are what can I start in? I was really interested in Warhammer Fantasy just because I looked at the miniatures and man, they look so cool. But they were pretty pricey, and at the time, I didn't have a huge budget. So what I ended up doing is just talking to some of the other guys there, and they pointed me towards War Machine. So there was guys playing that. There's also guys playing 40K and things like that. But at the time, War Machine and Hordes was the big thing that everybody was playing. And so the guys there kind of pointed out what I could start with, and I got some started stuff, and that's really how I got into wargaming. And really, War Machine is the only game I've really gotten into and learned all the rules, and I felt like I played well at. I really enjoy the painting and modeling side almost more now than I do the wargaming side, just because it's what I get to spend time on. I don't get out as much as I'd like to. But I also, I enjoy board games. I love playing board games. I have helped design a couple of board games and printed a couple of board games. And while that venture really didn't go well, it was going well and I made some big mistakes. But I feel like I've learned from those mistakes. And I feel like I have the customer service ability and the base knowledge to really have a good game shop where people can come, feel safe, play games, buy some stuff for their hobbies, and just really enjoy that time. Hobbies are such a therapeutic thing if done right. I know there's game shops where the people are a lot, very business-like, and they just want to get the sale and get you out of the door. But I'd love to create a space where people can come and not only play games, but do their crafting and hobbies as well. A big part of what I like to do is building terrain and dioramas and crafting just random things. And so one of my ideas is to have a space that has a few tools set up, basic things that people can come and use, and a space where there's good lighting where they can sit and paint. I'd like to do some crafting tutorial nights. So let's do a scatter train night where we learn how to build things out of foam for kids and for people who haven't done that before. Learn to paint minis nights, painting nights in general. I've got a good friend who's university trained painter, is an amazing painter, also university trained as a teacher, and I'd love to get him to come in and do some good tutorials on how to do basic paintings. People love expressing themselves through artwork. A lot of people are hesitant to do it because they don't think that they'll be able to, or think that they'll fail. But most people in some way have some sort of an artistic ability, and most people have a creative outlet of some sort. And so I'd really like to build a place that would foster that, where people would come together and it would be a safe place for learning and for playing and for just hobbies in general. Now, obviously, running a board game store in this day and age can be difficult. I've talked a lot with the owner of the one in my city here. There are currently no board game shops in my little city, which is a big reason why I've wanted to open up one up here. And there's a lot of people in the surrounding area too. So we're 14,000 people, but there's a lot of people living within a half an hour drive. There's a lot of people. Comparatively, obviously, a lot of you guys live in denser populated areas where you wouldn't think I have a lot of people here, but it's a good area. It's a good economic area, so there's a lot of people who have some expendable income and who would like to spend it on hobbies and stuff. And I think there's a lot of young people in the city that I live in that would love to do more hobbying local here. It's an awesome thing to do with your friends. You know, go meet at a place, play some games. It keeps you out of trouble. You know, not everybody can play hockey and do different sports like that. And even if you do, I mean, there's multiple outlets that you can have, right? I have the idea of doing summer camps where I can have kids come in during the day for like a week. You get like an army starter box, and throughout the week you're going to learn how to put it together, paint it, learn the rules of the game, and actually play some games of that particular game that you've chosen. So financially, it's a tough go. I mean, I have a little bit set aside, but I think any venture like this, there's always a lot of uncertainty going into it. You know, you can't really start without starting. I know I have a lot of people, I've done some research, and a lot of people say, well, do an online store first, but most of the big distributors that you get proper discounts from here in Canada, at least, won't start selling to a new customer who's online only. You need a brick and mortar store. And honestly, that's what I want anyways. I could sell games out of my house for a while if it was allowed. But that's not the point. The whole point of the local game store or the brick and mortar store is that connection with people. My day job right now, it's something very different. I sell farm equipment, but the best contact we have with our customers is when we do trade shows and when we have face-to-face communication. So this last year, when we haven't been able to do that, it's really changed the way we've had to do things, and it's not as good. I mean, online and digital is good to an extent, but deep down, people need community. They need to get together with people. And obviously, when there's, you know, a thing like a pandemic come up, you got to be safe about things. But there are safe ways to still get together, as we've learned throughout, you know, this last year. And so, yeah, that's what I like to do. And I'd love some feedback from you guys. You know, do you know anybody who's done something similar? I know a lot of people will be like, "Ah, you're just straight up crazy," and that could well be so. But it's still something that I think I'm going to pursue. I've thought about it a lot over the last 10 years, like I mentioned, and it's getting to the point where I think I need to move forward. And hopefully I can find the right space in this little city that I live in. So yeah, I guess just some feedback from you guys and just me expressing myself to you guys, the ideas that I have. Do you guys have any ideas that might help me out? You know, obviously there's things that I need to learn yet, like I got to figure out the point of sale system is a big thing. Inventory. Details is not my strong suit. And so I need to have somebody helping me out, making sure that I keep track of things well. And I learned early on that that's not my strong suit, and so I have to get somebody else to help me with that. But yeah, that's all for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. The channel is growing, and that's great. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably haven't stuck around this long, and if you have, thank you. Maybe you're interested in starting a game store yourself, and we can exchange some ideas. I've got no problem doing that because, I mean, unless you're starting a game store right beside me, you know, we can work with each other. Yeah, I'm excited about this. Also, nervousness is there too, some hesitancy, because obviously it's something that could fail. Anytime you put yourself out there like that, it is something that could fail. But I feel like I have the skills. I'm in a good location for it, and I think it's time to give it a try. So yeah, let's follow this along. I'm gonna keep posting videos as things progress, or if things progress. There's no guarantee on anything yet, but if things progress, I'll try to keep you guys in the loop, and hopefully that content is interesting and you guys can follow along with the process of what it takes to start a board game store. Maybe that will help you out in your journey as well. So thanks for now, guys. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like video button if you like the video. If you're not, that's fine. But we'll see you guys again next time. Thanks.